pictures on your screens of Ukraine tank fighting Russian forces. Many such videos that have emerged from the Ukrainian side, and particularly what you watch on your screens, the Azov tank brigade of the Ukrainian army is attacking the Russian forces on the outskirts of Mariupol. Remember, it's day 19, but Ukraine continues to put up strong resistance, and these particular pictures are inside visuals from the tank. This is the Azov tank brigade of the Ukrainian army that show you how the Ukrainian side is going on to attack the Russian troops. Clear precision, and how the Ukrainian army is targeting the Russian forces. This is what you see from inside the Azov tank brigade, and pictures coming in from the outskirts of Mariupol. Jitendra Kumar Oja, geopolitical analyst, who's with us on the broadcast. Mr. Oja, we have been watching several such pictures from Mariupol, and needless to say, the kind of hit the city has taken. Many residential structures razed down completely, fire seen in the sky, smoke seen in the sky, extensive fire, and massive damage. But Ukraine continues to fight. And this is the exact message they put out. The briefing of the Ukrainian Defense Ministry saying that we will not back down.
Fact is that this war is being fought on Ukrainian soil. And naturally, in a war like this, howsoever you can have this precision strike weapons, some degree of civilian casualties are inevitable, and that's the price Ukrainians are paying. But at the same time, we mentioned earlier also that war sometimes brings the best and worst out of you. But this war has brought the best out of Ukrainian character, Ukrainian national character, I would say, and the manner in which they've been fighting. Unfortunately, until some time back, what used to happen that a lot of former Soviet era, these republics or parts of USSR, they had started getting more favorably inclined towards Russia. But this war, and Russia also had probably anticipated that once they enter Ukrainian territory, people may welcome them because ethnically and racially they were closer to each other. But this war has demonstrated it otherwise, because in this war, this kind of aggression, Ukrainians have not appeared to be supportive. But at the same time, probably the kind of lethal firepower Russia has, that kind of lethal firepower Russia has not been utilizing, and that is the reason that this war has prolonged for far too long. But despite that, every civilian casualty is going to alienate Russia and destroy goodwill for Russia, which has been there quite substantially in these parts of the world. And Russians were expecting, or rather they were alleging, that West was trying to somehow provoke or entice Ukraine on their side, only to rather jeopardize or undermine Russia's security. So if that was the plan, I suppose that Russia has landed up alienating large sections of people in Ukraine, as well as in Central Asian republics, who are very much disturbed or upset at growing Chinese footprints and growing Chinese indirect influence. So that way, I would suppose that even if Russia succeeds militarily in terms of goodwill, in terms of information warfare, as well as economically, Russia has taken quite a bit of hit, I would say.
All right, Mr. Ocha, I request you to stay on with us. Let's listen into the ambient sound of this particular video and how the offensive continues.
Давай. Все, минус вот так. Сейчас подумать вещи. Так.
And even as we continue to get you more ground reports of how exactly the situation is turning out on day 19, 2 people were killed and 7 others were injured when an Antonov aircraft factory in Kyiv and a nearby residential building were targeted. Let's take a closer look at this video and how Russia is going on day 19.